Oh boy, we're live. All right, man. So hey, welcome everybody. And we're gonna make this crazy because tax day just finished. It's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patty's Day to everybody. So what we're gonna do? What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm just hosting everything here in the background. Just wanted to chime in for St. Patrick's Day. Okay, continue.
All right, so St. Patty's Day, man, and you got man. I'm wearing green like socks. So hey, tax day just finished, right? March 15, which was business financial reporting. And if you're interested in blowing up your own career and your career path through financial reporting and through a large enterprise project, this is the place for you. If you run a team, this is also for you because this is actually how your people think about financial reporting. You're going to get to hear from them, especially if we get anybody to jump on. And then if you are looking to get into enterprise, it's for you because everything in your career path runs eventually through financial reporting. Even if you have somebody doing it for you, you still have to do financial reporting to get to where you need to go. If you're running a business, if you're part of a business, if you're always going to be a part of a business, if you own a business, I'm going to zoom in here. So yeah, pile in, guys. We're covering financial reporting. It's St. Patty's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And just put in the comments here what your plans are for today. So we're covering all of financial reporting and how you can leverage this to make your career blow up. The angle here on this, and the whole theme of this meeting every single week is to get people in here talking about their experiences and how they did really, really well in their own career, like directly in their own career. We're talking promotion, raise, getting your first job, getting your favorite job, owning a company, going out on your own, starting a company, buying a company. So any of these things that have happened to you, tune in because financial reporting is the theme here. And it's particularly how you can win in your career or in your business, et cetera. All right, so we're going to cover the first thing. If you're I just want to cover financial planning and analysis. And if you're in the accounting space, we want to cover how you can win right off the bat. If you're already on a team and you already had to produce financial reports to get tax day information in, everybody here on this call already knows what that felt like and that they don't want to do it again. So the first recommendation I've got for you today is it's an Excel recommendation. Most people are doing this in Excel or Google Sheets or wherever you're doing your work, like on pulling information in. Almost everybody in the whole world starts off with data from some system. You export it to some other place, usually Excel or Google Sheets, and then you have to do work on it. So put it in the chat here if you have this experience, if you are one of these people. It'll help everybody else on this call and help your peers, help your directors and officers and managers, and also the people who aren't in the game yet. All right, so the first thing is, how can you get your career to boost using financial reporting? And I want to assure everybody who has financial reporting, everybody who does have it, they know what a headache it can be and what a pain it can be. But they also know how amazing it is when they have good data. If you have the numbers that you can rely on, now you can make decisions, right? So that's where we want to head today. How can you get your career to go crazy on financial reporting if you get this right? And I want to give everybody here permission to be not so great at financial reporting, not so super great at it. The data doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. And, even what's being requested of you isn't perfect. Could be that someone's requesting the wrong numbers that are not helpful. And you yourself as a team lead, as a business owner, are not asking for the right data. That's all permissible. And it's St. Patty's Day. So everybody gets a pass here, and you don't have to be perfect on your reporting. What you do have to be perfect on, and absolutely perfect on, is what you do about it now. That's the challenge. You're not absolutely like completely nailed down on accessing your data from your system, on transforming your data and reporting on it, and you may not be perfect on deciding on it, but you have to be perfect on listening to prompts like these and then doing something about it. All right, I'm Joe with Aqueducts Consulting. If you haven't met me yet, I'm in Las Colinas, Texas. I've been 12 years in the ERP industry, which is enterprise resource planning. Just think very large accounting system. It's an enormous QuickBooks. It's a QuickBooks that also does 100 other things like module-wise. It does your manufacturing, warehouse, and everything that is in QuickBooks is usually an ERP a lot larger. So that's what I've been working in. I've worked 12 years in this career. I have my own business as Aqueducts Consulting, as it appears here on the screen. If you're following me on any Facebook, Instagram, personally, then you may know me from St. Francis Montessori in Irving, Texas. Somebody's got to put in comments here if you're watching from St. Francis. And you also may know me from like back home in Fort Myers, Florida. So what happened over the past 12 years is that I started my own company, and I grew my own company from point A to point now, where we're trying to scale to become a $250 million company in the business application space. How did that happen? How did my career grow in this case? Well, I had an enormous set of projects, right, that I was on that helped me grow. So one of them was a big ERP project, and I did an extensive financial reporting help on those projects. So I've seen it from the trenches. I've seen it from absolutely ground level, working in Excel, cobbling together data any way you can through PDF exports and dumped as other Excel spreadsheets from data sources directly from coding with SQL. Like, I've seen it come from every different direction. I've worked the QuickBooks embedded reports. I've worked Sage Moss 200, D365 for finance and operations, AX 2012. Man, I've just worked about every other platform to pull financials, because that's one of the most common requests we have. So how do you crush your career here? All right, just a quick set of guidelines, and put in the chat here if you like, wherever you're tuning in. Don't be shy. Put the system that you're working on in the chat so that we can hear from you, and whether you're Infor or SAP, Oracle, who else? I started on Sage Moss. So put QuickBooks, Xero. Who's the other accounting platforms? So whatever you're sitting on right now, you got to get financial reporting tied in, whether you want your team to do it or whether you do it. So how do you change? If it's not perfect now, how do you change? So here's how you change. First and foremost, you have to get your hands on the data, and you have to define what you want in the first place. So those two things, you have to start with the end in mind. What do you want to analyze? And then you have to get your hands on the data, and you have to put your hands on the data in a way that you can, do this routinely over and over again, because with financial reporting, the most common thing that happens is that the data changes because the system's changing. You're updating your data all the time because the people in the system are updating their stuff all the time. So if you're going to sleep on this, on this topic right here, and it's really easy to go to sleep on financial reporting, all you have to remember is where you're going in your career, what your goals are. I want to start a company. I've already started a company. I want my company to grow. I want it to scale. So you have to get financial reporting right in any one of those cases. And honestly, since it is a tough subject to get right, you have to slow down. You have to invest in it, because and the way I like to do it is that I just remember, and call for my goals. Like, what am I trying to accomplish? If I'm trying to grow my company from where it is now to 250 million in revenue, then what matters to me, Joe C at Aqueducts C, is that I have standard operating procedures and a whole bunch of knowledge base on how to pull financials from any system. And on certain systems, I should know I should have pre-built things to pull that data so that I can help everybody reliably, not just you tuning into this broadcast, but what happens if I had to help 100 people at a time on the same request? So what matters to me about financials right now, and this could be you, especially if you're an enterprise, is that you have a standard operating procedure for pulling the data. So if anybody, honestly, like if anybody has a standard operating procedure for pulling financials, you should definitely chat it back to us, because you would be a rock star. A very slim percentage of people are going to go there.
We have lurkers, but we don't have typers.
We don't have typers. So Alex, what about you, man? So you run a marketing firm. Like, where are you on financials? Like, and I'm putting you on the spot here, because every time you ask somebody, whether personally or part of the business, right? And so let me just ask a better question.
Okay.
Alex, are you perfect on financials?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So Alex, what are the top 3 things that would be valuable to you? And I haven't prompted Alex so that everybody knows. These are real questions.
This is kind of out of nowhere. I feel like I'm very nervous right now. No. What are the top 3 things that what?
What are the top 3 things that matter to you about financials? Those you can answer.
Yeah. How much money I have right now?
Yeah.
How much money?
No. Not what matters to you. Top 3 things about your financial reporting.
Okay. Knowing how much money I'm going to have in the future.
Oh, got it. That's what you're saying.
Short term and long term. So like, the next couple of months, and also projecting out what's coming in the rest of the year.
Dude, why does that matter to you?
Because it brings me security. It brings me confidence. It allows me to not be as stressed throughout the day when certain expenses come out, or when something does have to something that does have to get paid for. If I have to pay for a contractor, it's nice for me to be certain with where my money is, because then I know I can either freely spend, or okay, this is the time I'm gonna hunker down and work more on sales. And it's also good to have as accurate numbers as possible. That'd be another thing that I would
add. I'm posting live here on Facebook.
Good.
I want to like share this as Joe C.
Oh, perfect. Good. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna copy a link here and go back to Joe C. Facebook. Here you go, man. Talking cash flow out on Facebook Live. So come on in and join, man. And I'm going to interview Alex. I'm going to bust him up a little bit. And if you're interested in this, I want you to hop in, and I want to talk about cash flow. So Alex, what is the second most important thing? You got to know how much cash you're going to do, and you're going to get, and you got to know it, because you could run out of it, or you can't have enough.
Exactly.
Of it.
Yep.
All right, so here we go. I'm sharing this out on Facebook. We're going to get some people in here.
Yeah, good. I just shared it on mine as well. Getting grilled by one of my clients. I love it. Off the cuff too. Yeah.
All right, second most important thing for you on cash flow. Think about it for the business side. So let's say that your cash flow flush. Mm-hmm. Now, what do you care about?
Cash flow flush.
Like the cash flow looks good, man. So like, do you care about how good, and like if it's going to stay good, or
that would be the thing, is if it's going to stay good.
Yeah. So what can you do? What can you do right now on the reporting that you have, whether personally or business? What can you do right now to get that in place? Like, to answer that question, if it's going to stay good. What can you do very simply to figure out if it's going to stay good?
Not sure. What could I do?
Well, so here's the deal. Yeah. If you've had good for we're talking 2 years straight.
Yep.
Is that a good indicator that it's going to stay good?
2 years. Yeah.
2 years straight, right? 2-3 years. So what if you started a new big thing recently?
Yeah.
And you got an uptick, and now it's like on an upward, I don't know where my
trajectory.
Camera,
yeah.
Upward trajectory.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
So, all right. So yeah, like there are ways in financial reporting you can know if it's moving or not. All right. So This doesn't just pertain to business; it's personal, or it's your personal finances as well. So how do you get, all right, now lastly, this is getting a little bit closer. So what system do you use and how do you get the data out? And are you the one who pulls it?
I don't want to answer that question. I'm going to embarrass myself.
All right, so let's just forget the system for a second.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
it comes out of the system, do you work with it in something else like Excel or Sheets or something like
Yeah,
that?
Sheets.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. So Google Sheets. And
Yep.
you're comfortable there. You're not an expert there, but you know how to use it.
I'm not an expert, and it's not like it's enough where I can sort of handle it by myself, and I don't run into too many issues. But then the fear that pops in though is for example, next week I'm projected to start a new project that when the contract signed, when the deposits in, I will have 2x my income from last year, my revenue, just from one
Yeah,
project.
awesome. Awesome.
But that's going to create more problems, right? Because it's going to be more cash in the door. It's going to be more expenses. It's going to be more for me to have to handle. Where a product like Google Sheets is not going to be sufficient, and the what I've been doing for a few years now will not. I'll be prone to more mistakes because I'm dealing with bigger numbers. I'm dealing with more transactions. I'm dealing with more contractors, more partners to produce this project.
Yeah.
So I will start seeing those problems, in a
So
couple
guys,
weeks.
like people tuning in right now, like all Alex is talking about is how much money is he making and how much is going out, right? Inflow, outflow, cash flow, and that cash flow has to be on the net higher than the expense. So
Yeah.
like that your net is high, that's profit, that's margin. And so if you're light on margin, if we're doing something wrong if we're light on margin. For most people in the personal sense, a lot of times it's a net zero idea. Like you pretty much just want to net, you've already allocated all your expenses, you've allocated the revenue, and you sort of want to net to zero because you are investing in things and stuff like that. Right. So same thing with big business, same mentality. If you are assembling the world's most complex cash flow or balance sheet or income statement, you're going to have to get your hands on the data and then analyze it. So so yeah, like if you want to jump in and if you've got comments on this personally, just jump on in and let's
Yeah, we have a couple of viewers, so we should not be shy and jump on in. Tell us where you're watching from.
no, be shy, man. You should not come on. If you came on right now, you would probably have to answer some of these questions and then you'd have to make more money. It would be bad. Like you shouldn't do it. Don't do it. So let's address like the large company here, right? So the large corporate enterprise for a second. So you've got the same problem, right? But they just have it a lot more with more complexity. So here's my message to you guys. If you want your career to take off and the careers of your team members, which means your company takes off, right? So you give your people the skills that they need as well as the tools that they need to pull that data. Be forward and proactive about asking them, do you have what you need to pull the data? A lot of times they won't tell you. They're like, yeah, I got it. And because they want it to sound like they can pull all this data with very few resources. The only time you should listen to them tell you that they've got it, it's okay, is if they're really adamant about it. Like, no, I think that, that's probably going to be too much. Like, you shouldn't do that. Like Joe, don't do that. Like, we already have this. The data is perfect. We have a system that's perfect. So just if I would poke and prod a little bit and ask him, how long does it take you to do it? If you were to leave, how long would it take you to train somebody else to do it? Right. If they don't know how to do it, that's like a 5-alarm fire, right? If nobody in your company knows how to pull financials. But if how long would it take them to train somebody else? That's a really critical question.
Joe, I'd love for you to talk a little bit about that actually, because that's something that I know you've encountered with a couple of prospective clients and current clients of yours, where they have that problem of if this person leaves, goes on a well-earned vacation for a couple weeks, if this person has to some sort of leave, the company is very much dare I say screwed, in the sense that there's no one there to be able to handle all that amount of data that comes in, whether it's things like seeing how cash has performed, or how business has performed in the past month, being able to put that somewhere, invoices, things like that. I'd love for you to talk a little bit more about that, because it's something that I know that you've seen in the field, in prospective clients and current clients, and how
Yeah.
important that is.
So I will give you this answer from the small business perspective up to the large business perspective. If
Great.
you don't have somebody who has written down literally just single sentence responses on the steps in sequence that they take to get their work done, then you're not even leaving the most bare roadmap to go and reproduce the process. And this is called process documentation. It makes everybody go to sleep. Even worse than financial reporting does. You can get somebody to take a nap really fast if you mention the process documentation, but everybody who runs anything knows that they have massive risk and key person dependency if they don't document their processes. So if you're out there and you have these processes, at minimum, take a Saturday when you don't have anything going for work and start jotting down the skeleton basics of your business. Completely tap out for a second, eliminate distractions, sit down and just do single sentence in sequence. This is what I'd have to do to go do that. That's like the grand version of it. Most people are going to have to do this during their day. So what I do personally is that I open this app called OneNote. Lots of other people might have Evernote or something like that. I like OneNote because you can set up tabs for all the process areas and then go deep on these other, so there's tabs across the top, and then you can go deep on the tabs down. Hey, Alex, can I share my screen? Can I?
Of course you can. Permission granted.
So select.
What are we going to show?
I just blocked myself.
Oh,
So
what are we trying to show?
Screen sharing not allowed.
Let me make sure you can.
I think I blocked myself on this browser.
Oh, bummer. Yeah, you did it last time. You should definitely be allowed to.
Okay.
Yeah, automatically share screen. You're good.
Yeah, you guys have seen OneNote. If you haven't, just do a quick search.
There you go. I got you. You're in. You can add. Go for it.
Okay. It's not doing it because I think I blocked it on like my browser. Oh, here it is. I got it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had to give you permission. I didn't do it. My bad.
Oh, here we go. Got it. All right, select. I'm going to do like screen 2 here, which is us. I'm going to allow. All right.
There you go.
Boom shakalaka. So we're going to bring up a quick browser here. And we're just going to go to OneNote. Microsoft or something. All right. So if you look at this, I'm not going to show mine right now because I have like so many notes in there. It's like it's got a little bit of liability going there.
Yeah, and it's also like reading Egyptian hieroglyphics. A ton of stuff. I don't understand it. A lot.
OneNote for process documentation. Dude, look at this. So this is a Scotland trip, right? So you can have up here as you can have July, you could put the year, you could do all kinds of stuff. What I would do is I would do process documentation. This is trip itinerary. You can just drop photos and everything in here. I love this because you can have up here on the tabs, like you can have one thing, like accounts payable, accounts receivable, financial reports, like whatever. You just come in here and you can do your tabs on the right, or these pages on the right, and now you can just fill this with information very, very quickly. See if I can do another instance of this. Yeah, I won't mess with it. So like the idea here is that you're filling this information with one sentence thing on process documentation. Here's project overview, project goals, descriptions, your team, procedures. Like it's really easy to use this stuff, and you got to use an app or some tech here to manage it. Holy moly. Like an infinite share. So that is actually that's my favorite thing to do on process documentation, because then you can do it during the day and just be conscious and intentional about it. Do it all week long. Just jump on and do it. There's a great, the great Allison Maslin from Pinnacle. Don't worry, be crappy. Like, she's just so great at getting you out of your comfort zone and moving, right? This is just about everybody, right? Lots of people are attributed here, but don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. So get your processes down. So your risk is super high if you don't have these things down. In financial reporting, here's what's important.
Yep.
You have to list where the data lives and the sequence that you use for taking it down and then operating on it. Which brings me to my second favorite tool, which would be Teams or something like Zoom or something where you can record, like loom.com. You can record your screenshot, like your screen, and then you can go through your whole process. The best is if you have that video, but I just do them both, like skeleton of the process and then do the video. You have to know the sequence for financial reporting. It's financials, man. Like, they're the financials. Like, if you get this wrong, like, you're toast. And so the thing about financial reporting is that it has this element. It has some wiggle room and forgivability, forgiveness before you get to presenting on your data. But when you present on your data and it's wrong, I mean, people are relying on you in order to make decisions happen, right? So if you report on data and it's off, man, is it off? And I've seen, like, we're a consulting group that usually does financial reporting for companies around $250 million up to about, right around $3 to $4 billion. We don't usually exceed there because by that time they're usually engaging the ultra large vendors. So I'm fine operating in there, but for some reason the buying pattern, we don't usually fit into the $4 or $5 billion companies and above. So anyway, like, it's the same process one way or the other, right? They just have more hoops and hurdles at the enterprise level because they have lots of security concerns and HIPAA concerns and all the personally identifiable information concerns and all that. So make your processes, get a skeleton of them, do a video of it. And oh my gosh, good old Jamie just tagged in. I see you, buddy. I see you.
Well, he's gonna have to wait till next week because we're at 29 minutes.
Yeah.
But no, this is a lot of incredible content for anybody who wants to watch the recording afterwards on YouTube, where we're going to be housing all of these, on Facebook as well. Joe, if you can leave us with one last word of advice, commentary on financial reporting. I know that's what you wanted to focus on today. So if you can give us one last a final take.
Yeah. So my favorite outgoing message on financial reporting, and I said it at the beginning, is that it's okay if you have a mess in financial reporting. It's all right. Everybody's got a mess in financial reporting to some degree, right? Even the perfect people have something going with, like, their KPIs and their trending, right? Key performance indicators and trending that they haven't fully figured out. So it's okay to have a mess. It's just not okay not to do anything about it. So that's what I would say that to you guys. It's all right to have a mess in your financial reporting. It's not okay to do nothing about it. So get in there and figure it out. Call us up, like, book an appointment with us if you need to talk about it. If you're in the enterprise space, call us up. We can do discovery where we're out on site or remote for 2 days to 2 weeks, telling you what we see and showing you how we would solve your problem. So outgoing, have a great day, manage that cash flow or else it manages you. And I'll see you guys later next week.